This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
I hope you're not alone tonight. And I definitely hope you haven't taken your gummy, because this is one of the scariest true crime videos that you can ever watch. And it's actually the last moments of the life of Elisa Lam. This story happened back in 2013, but it is still a mystery today how Elisa Lam in the infamous Cecil Hotel disappeared and then was found 19 days later, drowned. Little backstory on the Cecil Hotel. It is infamous in California for being a place where serial killers stayed. 2 different serial killers were staying there when they were caught in the middle of their killing sprees. It's where the Black Dahlia killer the victim stayed days before she was found dead. There has been tons of suicides and mysterious disappearances of its guests, dating back decades and decades. Elisa Lam would just be another story that went into the timeline of the Cecil Hotel. So this video you can watch if you just type in Elisa Lam Cecil Hotel footage. You can see that Elisa Lam is terrified of something. She is peering out from the elevator into the hallway. She is making some kind of hand gesture at something. She looks terrified. She is pressing all the buttons trying to get the elevator door to shut quickly. And she just all around looks terrified. You can see her going up and down the hallways, scared to death. They actually did make a Netflix documentary about this that you can watch. If you look it up, if you look up her case, it essentially says it's solved because she did have bipolar disorder and she was not taking her medicine as good as she should have been. That's not what I think stops the case here, because this is so bizarre and so odd how she was found and where she was found. And if you do any delving into like looking into spirits and demonic possession or just ghost stories in general, I just got a really cold chill. Anytime you talk about stuff starts looking back at you. It's like they always say, if you peer into the abyss enough, the abyss will start to peer back. So anyhow, they say if you have those kind of things going on, those mental disorders or those mental illnesses, those suicidal thoughts, that dark entities can attach themselves to you and will actually prey upon you and target upon you. And every time I say that, I get these cold chills. So anyhow, she says that, or the story goes that she was not taking her medicine the way she should be. She has this manic episode, and then somehow she gets past 2 security doors, climbs a 10-foot ladder, gets to the roof that had restricted access, and then goes up into this water tank, gets on top of it, opens this extremely heavy lid somehow, even though she's a very small girl, and then gets into the water tank. Now, after she closes the water tank, there is no way to get back out. The door is heavy, and you would not be able to push on it without it pushing you down into the water. These water tanks are extremely deep. She could not have touched the bottom. And once she lowered herself into this water tank, it's lights out. It was pitch dark. No one knows how long she lived in there, but they know that they did not find her body until 19 days later, and only after guests were complaining about decreased water pressure and bad tasting tap water. I'm going to let you use your imagination on why the water tastes bad, okay? The reason why the water pressure was diminished was because her dead body was actually over the drain of how this water tank would actually get water into the building. The hotel was sued by both cases. They were sued by her family for wrongful death, and the judge actually threw it out because he said there is no way that somebody could have done all of this and the hotel would have foreseen it. So the judge himself and the investigators themselves looked at the case and thought she should not have been able to get to where she died at. It was near impossible. That's why the police didn't search there, is because none of the police officers thought it would even be possible either. And those doors, to this day, there's another mystery about this. They don't know how she got through those doors because the police officers could not get through those doors when they tried. That's led a lot of people to say that staff members were in on this, that somebody that worked at the hotel guided her up there and then either got her to commit suicide or committed this to make it look like it was a suicide, whether it was accidental or on purpose. I don't imagine that way would be the way somebody would do it on purpose. I think that she was trying to hide from something, or something was telling her in her head to go get in this water tank.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks.
That is fire.
Whoa, that's good.
This might be the drink of the summer.
Okay, I like this one too. I'm rocking with it. Okay.
Try it for yourself. Starbucks Refreshers concentrates are coming home. Find them in the coffee aisle and make it yours.
She was living with roommates in this hotel for the week that she was there, and the roommates actually got her kicked out of the room, and she had to go stay into a different room because she was acting so crazy. She also went to a live recording of a television show, and she was kicked out of the live recording for trying to hand the host of the show a really weird note. Details of that note really aren't readily available. So she was obviously going through it for days. Now, the next people to sue the hotel were the guests that drank her dissolved body water, essentially. They sued the hotel, and somehow it was thrown out again because investigators found that the hotel chlorinated their water so heavily that it could not have hurt someone. I'm going to tell you right now, whether it hurt me or not, if I drank somebody else's body fluid, I'm bringing the whole establishment down. I promise. Whether it's me with a sledgehammer literally breaking down the building, or I'm suing the place into oblivion. I ain't taking no for an answer if I drink somebody's dissolved body. Okay, that is way too far out there. Now, this case gets weirder and weirder the more you look at it, because she was on medication. When they did a toxicology report, they found no drugs in her system, they found no alcohol in her system, and they found her bipolar medicine in her system. But that's where it kind of gets divisive. Some people say that, oh yeah, she had enough in her where I think she was taking her medicine. Other people say, I don't think she had enough in her system where she was taking the correct amount of her medicine. So that has fueled a lot of speculation on, well, why did she have this extreme of an episode? Her family does confirm that she did have a history of, if she didn't take her medicine, having these episodes. But her family also said that it has never happened anything like what you see in this footage, and then, of course, what happened to her in the end. That's all I'm going to say about that part of the case. The other parts of the case that are more strange is the people who were getting blamed for this. Now, quickly, a guy's life got completely ruined. There was a musician named Pablo Vergara that was 1,000 miles away at the time that she disappeared. And he got blamed for this because he went by a stage name called Morbid, and he had these really dark, satanical type videos of him doing music and recording music, and he was actually working on an album. He had stayed at the Cecil Hotel an entire year before she stayed there, but coincidentally, he released a video of him at the Cecil Hotel doing some of these dark, weird, morbid stuff at the same time she disappeared. It was just a pure coincidence. He was in a whole other country when this happened. And everybody online immediately thought that was him recording himself at the time. He was there. People went after him so heavy that all of his social media accounts got banned. His email address got banned. Anything to do with this man got banned. They tracked down his phone number. He had to get a whole new phone number. They ruined his life. He actually tried to commit suicide about a year later because his life was so, like, even after it came out that he definitely didn't have anything to do with it, people were still accusing him of having something to do with it. And it ruined his whole life. It ruined his, like, he stopped making music. He had to change his stage name completely. Like I said, all the social media following that he had got completely taken away because all the accounts got banned because people were mass reporting them and then until it just eventually, by default, got banned. Super weird. The other weird thing about this case is the tuberculosis outbreak that happened on Skid Row. If you don't know what Skid Row is, Skid Row is a part of California where it is just rampant with like heroin and drugs and all this horrible, horrible stuff. It's a ton of homeless people. So a tuberculosis outbreak happened, and the CDC has a database that just auto-populates letters and names for like these outbreaks and like the contingency plans to solve them. This was like right after her death happened. The auto population for the case is literally her name in reverse. I mean, the exact spelling and everything. That gives me goosebumps. Like, her last name is Lam, Lam, no B. And that's exactly what popped up. It literally popped up, Lam-Eliza. How do you have random letter generators that pop that up right outside of where she was staying? Because the Cecil Hotel is like on Skid Row or right next to it. Like a week after her disappearance or death happened. That is the weirdest single part of this whole case, besides the fact that she obviously looks like something is chasing her and after her in the footage. That is one part of this case that I cannot shake. When we talk about, like, are we living in a simulation? Is this whole world like just a big stage? That is so strange. The last weird part about this case that would suggest that there was something supernatural involved, besides the random CDC things, besides the morbid satanic guy that was also posting about the hotel at the same time she disappeared, would be the fact that the reason why the police didn't think to extensively search the roof is they actually had scent dogs trying to find her. The scent dogs, obviously the dogs can't see the video of her around the hotel. They followed the exact trail she did on the camera, on the elevator, down the hallways. Like, they followed it to the T. And they followed it to a window, which I guess she went out of a window and got up a fire escape. The dogs could not smell her after the window. Like, when they tried to smell her on the fire escape, there was 0 scent. Like, they had 0 mark returns. So if the police officer is suspicious that somebody did go away and a dog doesn't hit on it the first time, they'll bring them back over and over to that spot again just to see if maybe the trail was really faint. None of the sniffing dogs ever got the slightest trace of her on that roof. So how did she get in that water tank without leaving any trace of her behind? That's the last weird, mysterious part of this. And like I said, it's one of the reasons why they did not go up and try to figure this out. That and the police officers actually did explore the water tanks a little bit and look around up there. I mean, there's footage of the police officers looking around on the roof. That door, they said, was so heavy, they still to this day do not know how she managed to lift that big door to this water tank open and then put herself down inside it. Because you got to think, after you lift it, you have to slide down in it and let the door close behind you. They don't know how that door pretty much didn't crush her. They don't understand it. That's it for my nightly story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. To you guys that fall asleep to my stories, at first, I don't know if that was an insult or a compliment. Either way, to you guys that fall asleep to my stories, I hope you have fallen asleep by now, and I'm going to talk you into a nightmare, okay? Little trolls are chasing you, and they're breathing down your neck. You're running, and no matter how fast or slow you run, they match your pace perfectly because they don't want to catch you. They want to exhaust you and torture you mentally and physically, okay? They're after you right now. Just imagine that. You can feel the hot breath just on the back of your neck as you're running. Every time you look over your shoulder, they're the same distance away, no matter how hard or slow or fast you're running. If you trip and fall, they're just right over you because they want your fear. They don't want you. They want your terror. That's what actually feeds them, is that pure, unadulterated trauma that you're experiencing right now. Okay, I hope that teaches you a lesson to go to sleep to my stuff, because if you go to sleep to my stuff, I'm just going to say weird shit like that at the end of all these videos, okay? Hope you like this. Follow our podcast. It's Matt from Nomads on Spotify and Apple Music, and it is Nomads Animal Reserve on YouTube. Thank you all very much, and have a great night if you're still with us. If you're asleep, happy nightmares.